Assalamu alaikum, greetings of peace, my dear students, professionals. Recently, something interesting happened. I made a video. I called it The Problem with CIMA, and I kind of addressed a big issue that students were having based on a very nice feedback I got from a student herself about how you can get stuck at the CIMA Strategic Case Study exam and you keep repeating it, and you realize it's and the frustration that you actually start feeling with CIMA, with the examiner, because you realize you feel like you're doing everything right, but you're just not getting the pass. And in that video I also mentioned that it's not a topic that I would generally prefer talking, but then I did it, and my goodness, the response for that, right? I felt that there was a divided opinion. Well, I felt that generally the sense of agreement was more, that everyone agreed, but doesn't mean that everyone conceded to it. But in that video, in fact, I want to address something subsequently in response to that, because the message is not that it can actually happen. The message is not that if you're stuck, unable to get through the CIMA Strategic Case Study exam, if you're stuck at that stage, unable to get through, and you've been repeating it several times, it doesn't mean that you know that you're unfit for CIMA. Okay, so that's what I want to address. Are you a candidate who has undertaken the CIMA qualification, but now, because of failing several times, have you come to a point in life, have you come to a point in your academic career uh, where you're assuming that you're someone who is unfit for CIMA or ACCA or CFA, whatever? This applies to every qualification that is out there in the world, CMA, CPA, whatever. But let's focus it. Let's try to narrate the story through a CIMA perspective. For this, you have to understand a few things, and not everybody is going to like this. But if you take the CIMA qualification, do you know who under who the qualification exists? It's under the Royal Charter of the United Kingdom. So it's someone would say it's under what? His Excellency the King, right? Excellent King or Queen or whoever thinks they're running the world. Now, this is a British design. Okay? It's a fundamentally British design, and it is a byproduct, rather not necessarily a byproduct, but it's a direct product of colonization, right? If you look at the countries where these kind of professional qualifications are popular, if you take anything with the name chartered, anything, right? It can be chartered Institute of Management Accountant, Chartered Association of Certified Accountants, what we call ACCA, Chartered Public Accountant, not certified, chartered, right? Anything with that, Chartered Management Accountant, whatever, right? Anything with that, you will realize that there is a colonial root to it. And part of that colonial design is that it is designed to bring money, right? It is fundamentally designed to generate capital and bring money into the United Kingdom. Fundamentally, the United Kingdom. That is how it's designed. And which is why you find these qualifications entering the world, entering the colonized countries a few years, a decade, 10, 15 years after the British left, right? They came, they conquered, they took, and then they had to go at one point. But they didn't go entirely, right? They left little seeds, right, enabling them to channel whatever their products into that country, the economic, capitalistic, imperialistic, whatever channels, because they realized that the command and conquer approach doesn't really work anymore as the world was changing. This is 1950s, 60s I'm talking about. So by the 1970s, 80s, when capitalism, industrialization, and economics started thriving, you see the upheaval of these chartered qualifications around the globe. Now you have undertaken one of these, and if you are someone who has arrived or who has come to the strategic level case study stage, let me tell you this. I will basically, and if you are someone who is feeling stuck and you're wondering, am I am I incapable? Am I worthless? Am I someone, am I useless? Right? That is the kind of feeling sometimes that students get very sadly. Let me tell you this. I can divide this into two categories, divide you or put you all into two categories. And one category is 99%, one category. And the other category is just 1%. The 99% category, I would call them misguided. You're stuck because you're misguided, because you have the wrong advice. You are either unprepared, you haven't prepared well, you think you have prepared, but you've got a completely wrong approach. You've completely misunderstood what the case study is, what the strategic case study in particular is. You haven't absorbed the necessary knowledge that you need for it. It could be you've gone to the wrong teacher, wrong lecturer. You're not well prepared enough. Your mental fortitude level is not strong enough. So 99% of candidates, you're not failing because you're incapable. You're not failing because you're worthless. You're failing because you're misguided. So that just needs a small correction. I have helped tons of students that way. With one sentence, things have changed. There are so many self-study students, self-study, right, who engage with my self-study options just in the one-to-one sessions, just telling them one line about their mental attitude, about their approach, about one particular way of preparation, and everything falls into place. So you have to decide. Okay, and another proof for that very same fact is that if you are at the case study, if you've got this far, it means you're capable. You would not have arrived here if you're incapable of it. That is 99%. And I don't want to focus too much. I've spoken, that is the crowd I'm always talking to, right, as students. But if you are someone who feel that you're in the 1%, if you feel that you are unfit for CIMA, that 1%, right, that this is a completely wrong journey, you barely manage through MCS, OCS. Let me tell you this, my dear student, my dear brother, my dear sister, you are not unfit for CIMA. CIMA is unfit for you, right? That's the way it is. That's how it is. CIMA or ACCA or any qualification that makes you feel that way, that is unfit for you. You have a place in this world. You have a qualification, you have a degree, you have a path, you have a journey, you have a life that is cut out for you. Maybe it's in skilled trades, maybe it's in some other avenue. Just because this qualification has put so much pressure on you, and you're 1%, 1%, I'm telling you, it's a minority, right? If because most cases, if you have got to the point of the case study, strategic case study, most cases only misguidance is what is not helping you get through. It's a colonial product, and it's so easy if you approach it right, right? They were not so smart enough to come up with a very complicated model, and they're not so stupid enough to make it so difficult that no one would undertake it and no one would pay them, right? So that there's a commercial and academic element. They are very well balanced. But this, if you are in that 1%, please remember, you have a different journey. Just seek it, find it, have a conversation. Maybe it's in theology, maybe it's in art, maybe it's in oratory, maybe it's in, creativity, maybe it's in design. So find your passion. Never, ever, never let yourself feel that you are unfit for it. If something is seemingly not working, it means that the one above, he doesn't want it work for you. And that means you have a different path cut out for you. You just have to look for it. You just have to go for it. All the very best. Happy learning. I'll see you around.